Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hello, children, assholeconsulting.com. A person writes, "Hi, Aaron, please keep me anonymous. I noticed recently at my workplace some of my female colleagues have infants and young kids and keep them in daycare during the full-time work hours Monday to Friday. There are also a couple women who are pregnant and already looking into daycares. My question is, can you explain why some women even want kids if they aren't willing to stay home to raise them? Why are they okay outsourcing them to daycare? Where I live, daycare cost is $1,000 per child per month, and the average income for my colleagues is $40,000. And that's gross. Take-home pay is probably less. They did a study, don't quote me on the numbers, but it was in the majority of instances of couples had the wife stayed at home and raised the kids because of the cost of daycare, and then also some tax advantages, like you get the earned income or you get a child credit, but also because your household income was lowered, so you'd be in a lower income tax bracket, that they actually were working for no damn reason. They're actually paying to work. But that's neither here nor there. I would like a video response. Please give me a price quote. Thank you, Anonymous. Okay, so you female colleagues have infants and young kids and keep them in daycare during the full-time working hours. There are also a couple women who are pregnant and already looking at daycare. My question is, can you explain why some women even want kids if they aren't willing to stay home to raise them? Or why are they okay with outsourcing daycare? Okay, here we get into a whole, this is not just an easy question, because there's what their frontal lobes are telling them, there's what their hindbrain is telling them, there's what their genetics is telling them, and then there's the effective reality. So let me see if I can kind of boil this down and show you the great conflict that is happening. On a genetic level, it is my sincere belief that most women want to have kids, and most women would want to stay home and raise their children. Right? That is the hindbrain. That is how it's been done for 2 million years of human evolution and billions of years if you look at the way animals behave. All right, that is hardwired into their system. However, and this is a relatively recent epiphany I've had, I am absolutely amazed, not appalled. I'm somewhat appalled, but I am more amazed at just how effective brainwashing is. Because you've had less than a century of brainwashing with feminism. You've had maybe 50 years of brainwashing with feminism in the schools and TV and that has effectively and literally undone 2 million years of human evolution. It doesn't mean the human evolution has gone away. It doesn't mean that deep down inside women do want to have kids and stay at home and talk to any therapist that consults women. They're like, well, deep down inside they just want to get married and have kids. But again, trillions of dollars over decades of time and the trillions of human hours we spend indoctrinating, kids in general and people in general, but in this particular case, young girls to say, you don't need no man. Your career is the most important thing. That's the key point here. It's highly effective, especially on the frontal lobes. It's not going to change the programming in the back. I mean, there's a dream on the part of leftists and feminists that they're somehow going to change men's genetics so that we like fat chicks and that we don't like girls with big boobs. We don't like feminine-looking women. That's never going to go away. But they've been highly successful at least reprogramming the frontal lobes, the frontal cortex, the part where the conscious thinking and logic comes in, to get women to believe that their career and their education is more important than their children. Now, it's not all women. I mean, some women do stay home and actually take care of their kids. Some fathers do actually stay home and raise their children. They just don't spray and leave. But in this particular group of women that you're running into, why are they, you say, can you explain why some women even want kids if they aren't willing to stay home and raise them? And what I think is, like, deep down inside somewhere they want to, but a more powerful force is that they've been brainwashed not to. They have their kids, so they go through the biophysiological process of birth, so it kind of scratches that itch, But they have been completely conditioned and convinced that their career is more important than their children. One would even say that they are more important than their children. So the kids then effectively become a checkmark box. I want an SUV Range Rover. I want a house in the suburbs. I want a McMansion. I want trips to Europe. And I want my kids. And I want my masters. Check, 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 check. Frontal cortex, operate, satisfied. You are now successful. Bop, bop, bop. But then they're crying themselves to sleep. There's divorce. Their kids are on ADHD, or they got the Asperger's or whatever. The kids go see therapy. Everyone's depressed. Inevitably, there's a divorce. Because you're not going to get rid of that hindbrain. You're not going to get rid of 2 million years of human evolution. So there's this conflict. But to answer your question, can you explain why women even want kids if they aren't willing to stay home and raise them? This is where we get into the world of effective reality. We can debate and argue deep down inside what lurks in the hearts of women or men. But I have found as I've gotten older, the why doesn't matter. All that matters is what is. And for example, when I came up with this, I was like 25 years old. I had a buddy, he was 50. And he was real torn up about this gal that broke up with him. And she wouldn't tell him why and this. And she kept dodging the question. And he kept using me as the therapist, so proto-asshole consulting. And Emily, I said, Bob, his name wasn't Bob. I said, Bob, it doesn't matter why. All that matters is what is. She dumped your ass. She doesn't want to go out with you. And this is kind of the same thing we have to look at with women who outsource is a great word. Outsource their children to daycare so that they can go work. Effectively. Forget with the hindbrain and evolution and what deep inside, it doesn't matter. What is that these women, by their own actions, by their own decisions, love their career and their education more than their children. Now, if you say that to them, then the hindbrain kicks in. Mama bear comes, yeah, how dare you? We don't care what they say. If you look at it, what they effectively are doing, their actions and behaviors, is they're treating their children like things. Again, I have my master's degree. I have my SUV. I have some drapes that go nice with the curtains. I have the granite countertops. I have a husband who makes 6 figs. He obeys me. I have my Range Rover SUV, and I have my career, and I have my child. And if you look at all that those are things. Those are items. Those aren't things that you can love. And so when you look at it that way, and the actions that went, like, Aaron, what would you rather do? Taxes or go hang out with your nieces? Hang out with my nieces because I don't like taxes. Aaron, would you like to reprogram your website or go motorcycle riding with your buddy? I'd rather go motorcycle riding with because I love my buddy in a brotherly sense. Because I'm human. I haven't forgotten what the point and purpose of life is. These women who kick out their own flesh and blood to complete strangers to be raised up for marginally more income. The effective reality that is what is that they may love their children, there's no doubt that they do, but they love their career and their education, and I would argue themselves more than they do their kid. And so the why is that they were brainwashed to do so. I'm so thoroughly convinced about the efficacy of brainwashing. I mean, you just sit there and gape, like, you convinced all the women, well, not all, but 80% of the women to go $200,000 into debt to study worthless, mind-numbing shit and then go get some worthless job that doesn't pay a lot, as a matter of fact, cost them more if they had just stayed, than to stay at home and raise and love your children. So that's why. So I mean, it's the hindbrain, it's the frontal lobes, it's the brainwashing. But I don't care what maelstrom is underneath the surface. All I gotta know is, lady, did you kick your kid out because you wanted to go play assistant reserve diversity director over at Corporate Virtue Signaling Incorporated so you could be their CSR assistant reserve chief? Meanwhile, your child's language, oh, gee, I wonder if he's going to have the and autism. I wonder if he's going to have social anxiety and depression when he gets older. All that matters is what they do and their actions. Whatever is in their heart of souls, it doesn't matter. It's moot. It's what did you do with your kid. My favorite irony is that I've pointed it out before is that not all jobs, of course, not all women have these jobs, but a disproportionate percentage of women, their job is to raise other women's children. When they themselves have kids and no doubt outsource them to other women to raise their children. Be it elementary school teachers, pre-K, daycare. It's hilarious. It's like, hey, I got an idea. Instead of musical fucking chairs with your children and fucking them up in the process, maybe just raise your own fucking kids, huh? Just. And then the taxes you gotta pay. Like the mothers have an outlying expenditure. They have to pay for the daycare. But then those women who are taking care of kids that aren't theirs because they've outsourced their own children to other women who could take care of them, now they're collecting that income and now they got to pay taxes on it. Whereas if you just raised your own fucking kids, you wouldn't pay taxes because there's no income transfer. I'm sorry, it's a little bit too advanced. So let me see. Sorry to be so rambling, but it's kind of it's not just a straight, oh, women hate children. It's not that. It's not that. It is the brainwashing that we're seeing. You know, workplace female colleagues have infants and young kids and keep them in daycare during the full-time work hours Monday to Thursday. There are also a couple women who are pregnant now and are already looking into daycares. Okay, so effectively, they love their career. You can see through that action, even before the kid's born, I mean, the umbilical cord is still attached and they're just like running off to work. Oh God, we got to cut that off. All right, bye. Feed it Cheerios. I don't know. Right there, those women, not all women, these women you're talking about effectively love their careers more than they do their children. Period. No debate, no discussion. Can you explain why some women even want kids if they aren't willing to stay home and raise? Frontal lobes, check marks, because that's what they were told to do. They can have it all. But the brainwashing that the frontal lobes got, they are trained like kids are a thing. It's really sad. Is it myopic or is it solipsism? Let's look this up. I want to use the correct word. I think solipsism is where you're the only person that exists. The view or theory that the self is all that can be known to exist. Yes, it's solipsism. Solipsism. It's truly solipsistic, if I pronounce that correctly. So they want to have kids like they want to have a car. Frontal lobes. Why are they outsourcing in the daycare? Because it's a thing. Children are not humans, they're things. And they can be outsourced to daycare. They can be interchanged. You don't need a husband, you just need a government check. Daycare cost, Yeah, but then in the back, and this is where I feel bad for the women, is you'll see it. The kids will have, they'll have mental problems, they'll have disorders. They'll get divorced, half of them end in divorce. A lot of gals now, 42% of kids are born out of wedlock, so why even have the husband around anyway? And then the kids unfortunately come and ask me for help when they become adults, saying, holy fuck, what happened? I didn't have a dad, or I had a dad but he wasn't around, and my mom raised me sort of. I knew my teacher, I spent more time with, and you will spend more time with your teachers than you will your own parents, because your parents love you so much. And then they're damaged, and then there's a lot of deprogramming and reprogramming, a lot of pain and agony these kids go through because they were viewed as like as a car. You know, feed it full of fuel, maybe maintenance it a little bit. But yeah, you know, oh my God, mom's too busy. I have a career. So there you go. I think that deep down inside, women do love their children more than anything else, but they don't let themselves admit it, because then they'd have to admit all that K through college was bullshit, and then they got to face the, you know, oh my God, am I just a stay-at-home mother? Which I don't know what's so wrong about that. It's not like you can't go have a career after you raise your kids, but we've been down that road a million times before, and I realize another epiphany I've had recently is people aren't going to change. They're going to do what they're going to do, and you enjoy the show. You sit back, you watch, you eat your popcorn, and you enjoy the show, and you watch all these quote-unquote families just decay. Watch them decay. It would be wonderful. I wish I spent more time. That's the number one regret, isn't it? I think that's the number one regret. I wish I spent less time at work and more time with my children. Isn't that the number one regret of people on deathbed? You know, that's just old people dying. What do they know? we got brainwashed, indoctrinated with K through college education that we didn't need no man, fish, bicycle, and our career is the most important thing. So I wish those women the best. I hope they work hard. I hope they are incredible. I do. I wish them the best. I wish they work hard. I wish they get promoted, and I wish those motherfuckers pay 50% in taxes because they vote for it. And I hope that they get everything they want, because then there will be dysfunctional, hurt, and harmed children in the end, and that we couldn't even wish a worse hell. Because deep down inside, I think they do love their kids, and then they'll find out the worst thing that happened to their kids was them. How do you beat that? How do you just sit, man, eat popcorn, watch the show, guys, watch the show. All right, if you would like wisdom, guidance, blah, blah, blah. Here's something that would inoculate that. Worthless. Go get that book. Make sure you don't major in stupid crap, ladies. No, we don't want that one. We don't want that one. No, we don't want that. And then Bachelor Pad Economics. Bachelor Pad Economics. That is a great book for everybody to go and read and buy. Buy and read. And be successful. And there's philosophy in there about what's important in life. Like kids, loved ones, but your MBA is more important. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.